Do you fall short of your quarterly skull-taking goals? Do recent rules changes make you bounce off of opponents? Here at Adept Roll, we put the brains behind your brawn so you can kill, maim, and burn with peak efficiency. But don't take our word for it.
Adept Roll has helped me take 88% more skulls each battle! Thanks, Adept Roll!
Adept Roll is an online calculator that is integrated with the stats and data for Warhammer 40k. You input your attacker, defender profiles, and Adept Roll shows you the odds of killing your opponent and how much damage you could potentially do. Unlike AI that is banned from the Imperium of Mankind, Adept Roll is a calculator that helps you, the player, make the decision.
Results may vary. Side effects include killing, banging, burning, skulls with skull thrown, and blood with blood god. We are not responsible for any losses, failures, drowns, or shit rolling. Our designers recommend rolling only sixes for best results. Adept Roll is not AI. If it becomes an AI, please bring it to your nearest tech priest or psychic for immediate destruction and cleansing. Speak to your chapter master to see if Adept Roll is right for you.
Download Adept Roll in the Google Play Store or Apple App Store. Going to your first 40k tournament, some tips and tricks. The first thing I would consider before signing up for a tournament would be, do you know your army's rules well enough to the extent that you can finish a game in 3 hours or less, where only 1.5 hours are yours? If you still need to check the data sheets for the majority of your army, I would consider getting a few more reps in. It's fine to reference them if you're unsure during a game, but if you only have so much time, you don't want to waste you or your opponent's time, and you both want to play all 5 rounds. Secondly, is your army painted enough? Most smaller tournaments that are RTTs, which is what I would recommend to novices, are usually 3 rounds, and they waive the painting and basing requirement. The player packet will inform you if it is or not. In higher tournaments, where you have 5 rounds or more, the 3-color minimum and basing is required, and you don't want to start every game down by 10 points, so make sure that you double check the packet or consult the TO and get your army painted. 40k tournaments, small or large, is arguably the second best place where the hobby lives, where the best place is your basement with some friends. Tournaments are even more fun in a group, but also fine to run solo as you'll make many more friends along the way. Tournaments have this fake rumor about them that it's only filled with sweats or people who cheat, where this couldn't be farther from the truth. Having played hundreds of tournaments, I can say that the majority of tournament goers are people who are simply happy to roll dice and get 3 or more games in on a weekend. There's always going to be a few bad apples, but in my experience, and having been beaten by and played alongside some of the best players in the world, I could vouch that the top competitive players are, if anything, more transparent and fair than the average player, as they have a reputation to uphold. The first thing you're going to do is go into bestcoastpairings.com and look for local tournaments in your area. When you find one, read over their player packet and see what terrain and rules they will be playing by. It is important you find a place running the latest rules and competition terrain, as this could save you some time and money traveling out to find out that you're playing in an open-windowed magic box terrain that isn't at all serious, let alone competitive. After you confirm all of that, sign up and pay your fee, and you're good to go. The next thing is to manage expectations. You should go in there with the expectation to meet Owen. Owen 1, Owen 2, and Owen 3. When you're new to competition play, losing is probably one of the best teachers. Going in with an expectation to stomp your first tournament may lead to disappointment, but remember that at the end of the day, it isn't an unbalanced dice game, and you're here to use 40k as a competitive outlet in a semi-serious setting. New and seasoned players alike would also benefit from seeing the missions and terrain that would be played so that you can practice these deployments and missions beforehand so you're adequately prepared. Another point of advice is to practice your deployments against shooting armies, melee armies, or whichever way you need to make your army successful against different pairings, and then take screenshots of them or photos with your phone in real life so that you don't have to waste too much time in the deployment phase. There is going to be some subtlety with the deployment phase against different matchups, but if you have a general game plan, then you're not really caught on your heels. Going into your round 1, if you do the pre-game talk, which is in a video right over here, then you could set the ground rules with your opponent and avoid any gotchas or any feels bad moments. Especially if this is an outside your local area or friend group, as each tournament has different rules, interpretations, and judging opinions that can change the game around a bit. This is because GW's dev team has to translate from their team of chimpanzees that smash their head on typewriters to come up with the rules, leading to sloppy English and poorly worded rules and broken grammar. Because of these elusive chimpanzees and the inability of GW to fire them due to the strong workers' unions in the UK, in-person tournaments will almost always have some different rule, and no two tournaments will ever be the same. This bridges into something I like to call Etiquette, where different areas, whether it be two stores in the same city or two different nations altogether, have different unspoken rules of etiquette. The pregame talk addresses most of these, but just be aware that people do things differently in different areas. This being said, it is always better to talk to a TO beforehand if you know about some confusing rules your army has, rather than having a judge called mid-game. Doing this before a tournament can allow you to be better prepared. It would also help to tell the TO staff that you are new and that this is your first tournament. In the case you find yourself in a rules disagreement, don't wait for it to impact the game that much and get a judge as early as possible. Again, this is important to talk about in the pregame so that if you happen to get a rule wrong or confused, then a takeback could be warranted on your case or on your opponent's case. Next is one of the best part about tournaments after your round 1, the lunch break. For Imperial and Chaos Knight players, this is sometimes upwards of 2 to 3 hours, as your games only take 1 hour. This is a social game that you are spending 3 hours with a stranger or sometimes someone you know, so it's always easier to make friends when you share a meal together. So after your round 1, ask them if they want to join you for lunch or show you to a restaurant nearby that they may know. And of course, before you even depart, make sure that you always pack water, deodorant, dice, deodorant, dice tray, and a spare dice tray for your opponent if they don't have one, objective markers, deodorant, really, emergency model glue because it isn't a tournament unless a model breaks, and of course, it can't go without saying, bring deodorant. One last note to close on is that this is a dice game, and sometimes the dice gods favor you, and sometimes they favor your opponent. When they swing either way, take a second to stop and let it tell a story. Did Angron fail to kill a Chaos Knight that he should have? In the next phase, the Chaos Knight blew Angron off the board? Well, the Chaos Knight, clearly critically wounded, grabbed Angron's arms with his tendrils, tying him down, held him back before Angron could deliver the final killing blow, and then did an overcharged plasma to blow a hole straight in his chest. It's important to control this experience, not only for your enjoyment and for your opponent's enjoyment too, as nobody likes playing against a sore loser, but this is, at its roots, a immersive storytelling game. Thanks for watching. Make sure to kill the like button, burn the subscribe button, and maim the notification bell. Our links down below go to our merch store, which help fund the channel and let our artists get food and water. We also host painting competitions as well as RTTs on Tabletop Simulator where you can win real prizes. Additionally, for tournament supplies, we have links down below to dice, objective markers, and anything else. For those that are watching that are new, drop a comment and tell us about what tournament you're going to sign up for. And if you're a seasoned vet, drop a comment and tell us about your first tournament.